Yuki is a middle school student. He likes isolation from people and sitting alone, and one day after he finishes school he sees his friends calling him to play with them. But he does not respond to them and goes to his house, and he sits on his bed and imagines his imaginary friends, who are Dees and Marumuru. So Dees tells him, I am tired of the situation we are in, I want something to break this boredom. I decided that I will make a new game, and I will let you see the future. But Yuki does not care about the topic, because Dees is anyway an imaginary character in his head only, and nothing he says will happen in reality, and also he is tired from school and wants to sleep. On the next day Yuki wakes up from sleep, and he holds his phone as usual, and he finds it open on a diary with written words inside, and he reads those words and discovers that the events of his day are written in this diary, and he becomes very surprised, and he asks himself who wrote these words. But he does not give the matter attention, and Yuki gets up from the bed, and he holds an arrow from his arrows, and he hits the dartboard with it, while he is standing listening to the news about a serial killer who killed a woman yesterday. So Yuki gets very shocked, and he opens his phone quickly and reads it, and he finds that this is the same situation he read when he first woke up, and it actually happened to him exactly as written, so he says this must be a coincidence. After that Yuki goes to school, and he finds that he has a surprise exam, so he gets more shocked, because this is the same thing that was written in his diary, and he says to himself this is not a coincidence. Even the exam answers are written on the phone, and after the exam ends his friend Kosaka comes to bully him, so Yuki finds that all of this is also written in the phone, and until he goes home he discovers that all the events of his day are displayed on his phone. So Yuki goes to Dees to ask him about what is happening to him, so he tells him this is a diary through which you can know your future. So Yuki replies, how? You are supposed to not be real. You are just an imaginary character in my head only. So he tells him, how would I be a ruler and living only in your imagination? The diary in your hand predicts the future, but be careful, if you lose it your life will end. On the next day Yuki goes to his school, and he reads in his diary that there are students planning to beat him today. But he enters another street to avoid them, so Yuki laughs at them, and says it is like I have a cheat paper in my life. I now own life, and he is very happy. And in one time there is an exam at school, and a student objects to the teacher, and tells him we have many questions we have not taken yet, and also the exam is hard, so Yuki says to himself mind your own business, you already know the exam answers, because I can read the future. And suddenly one of the female students turns to him, so Yuki gets nervous, and asks himself why did she look at me like that. After the exam ends, Yuki goes to the seat of that female student, and he gets surprised when he finds her carving the shape of Marumuru, the assistant of Dees, with paper, and suddenly interference happens on Yuki's phone, so he opens it to see it, and he gets shocked when he finds the dead end sign, which means that he is close to dying, and he reads that the serial killer will kill him, so Yuki becomes scared. Suddenly the female student who carved Marumuru enters on him, and her name is Yuno, so she tells him I know your future too, so Yuki gets scared and runs quickly, and after that interference happens on the phone, and Yuki reads that there is someone running after him and will catch him, so he asks himself is it Yuno or the serial killer, and suddenly Yuno appears in front of him, so he is surprised how did she reach him that fast, and Yuki keeps running among people, and says to himself what is happening. I am supposed to be the only one who owns a diary like this, and Yuki enters a building and uses the elevator and presses floor 14. But suddenly Yuno follows him and opens the door before it closes. So Yuki gets scared, then Yuno shows him her diary, so Yuki gets more shocked and says I am going to die now, so she tells him do not be afraid, I will not do anything to you. So they both notice the serial killer standing below, so Yuki asks her who is this, so she replies this is the criminal from the news and the third owner of a diary. My diary told me that he will kill you, and this is what is written in it. Yuki will die on floor 14. It lets me know your future every 10 minutes, and this is the advantage of my diary, and I am the second diary owner. Yuno changes the floor number, so Yuki asks her what are you doing, so she replies did you forget that you will die on floor 14? This way you will be the first one eliminated from the game, so Yuki gets surprised by her words, so she tells him everyone who owns diaries tries to kill each other, but Yuki still does not understand anything. After a while they go up to the rooftop of the building, and Yuki asks her why did we come here, so she replies I have a plan that we can defeat the third with, even though future diaries are powerful, if they are destroyed their owner dies. After that the criminal reaches the rooftop and looks for Yuki, but he does not find him, and he takes out his phone to know his location, and at the same time Yuki is sitting watching him, and as soon as the killer takes out his phone, Yuki throws an arrow from his game at him, and he manages to destroy his diary, and suddenly the third player disappears from life, but Yuki is amazed by what happened. After that Yuki goes to Dees, and tells him what are you doing? Why are there other people who have future diaries like me? So he replies I did not tell you that you are the only owner, I told you before that it is a game, and suddenly Dees changes their place, and they go to a meeting arena with the rest of the players, and Dees tells them since you are here, let me explain the game again. First thing, the diaries you have are called future diaries, and each one of them has its own special ability, and once a diary is destroyed you will die immediately. The meaning of the dead end sign is that you are in danger and close to death, and once this sign appears you must get rid of it immediately, by changing your actions. Dees goes to Yuki, and tells him like you did with the third, he was supposed to kill you, but you did the opposite, and regarding the winner of this game, he is the last one alive among you, and whoever wins will become the spatial ruler, and will inherit my throne, and now only 11 players remain, go and win this game, but Yuki is confused by what he hears. Yuki is walking on his way to school the next day, and he says to himself, 12 players are competing to kill each other, and the one who wins is supposed to take the ruler's authority. Then Yuki arrives at school and sits in his classroom, and he says to himself just carrying this diary with me is dangerous. I could die at any moment, and I also cannot not take anyone's opinion about this matter, and Yuki looks at Yuno and says, "What are you thinking about?" There is no way I will go take her opinion. She could kill me at any moment. But after the class ends, Yuki goes to her to talk to her, so Yuno replies to him, "I am not free right now, I have another class, and I am late for it. I will talk to you another time." So he says to himself, what did you expect from her? And suddenly a strange woman enters to him, and she does not look like she is from this school, and she asks him where is the teacher's room. "I have something I want to know about your teacher. I received news that he is the serial killer." So Yuki gets surprised, and she continues her words, "By the way, I heard that your exam grades improved a lot, as if you turned into a completely new person. Do you know why your teacher was absent from school today? Because someone killed him. He cornered the first player and wanted to kill him, but the first got ahead of him and killed him." So Yuki gets nervous and steps back, and suddenly interference happens on his phone, and he reads that the explosions caused by the ninth will kill him, and the dead end sign appears, and suddenly Yuno appears and tries to hit her, but the player steps back, and she tells them, "I am the owner of future diary number 9, and I will never lose like the third," and suddenly many explosions happen in the school. So Yuki falls on the ground, and says, "In fear the dead end sign appeared to me. I will die after 3 hours from now." So Yuno replies to him, "Do not worry at all. I will kill her before she kills you. I will do anything for you." So Yuki is surprised by her words about killing so easily. After that they take each other and try to escape from the explosions, and Yuki reads in his diary that a bomb will explode if they take the stairs. So Yuno tells him we must find another way, and suddenly interference happens on Yuki's phone. So he is surprised that the future changed, so she replies, "Your future will change if you do not do the same as what is written in the diary. It predicts everything happening around you. You are supposed to read it well to know what the ninth is planning," and suddenly interference happens again. So Yuki is surprised, and says to Yuno, "How did the future change when I did nothing?" So she tells him surely the ninth moved from her place, because if she changes her future, our future will change too. Suddenly an explosion happens in the classroom they are standing in front of, so Yuno saves him and they escape quickly, and while the explosions are ongoing, Yuno tells Yuki, "Read your diary quickly to see what will happen to you from these explosions." So Yuki opens his phone, but he is shocked by what he sees, because he finds nothing written in the diary. So Yuno takes out her phone quickly to see his future, and she finds that Yuki will get injured in an explosion happening now. So she jumps on him and saves him quickly, and at the same time the ninth is surprised that Yuki is still alive. So Yuno tells Yuki, "My diary predicts the dangers you are in. I can see all your movements here. As long as we are together, we will be able to know everything around you. You will become an unbeatable person." So Yuki cries and tells her, "Then I am supposed to be a coward. I was always alone. I wanted to play with my friends and impress my teachers, but I do not know what brought us to this." So Yuno replies to him, "Time is not over yet. There is 1 hour and a half left until your dead end time. Come, let us go down to the floor below. Your friends and teachers are there. Surely they will help you." On the other side, the police arrive at the school, and one of the investigators goes to their leader to inform them that they are ready to raid the ninth. So he replies while holding his phone, and the surprise is that he also owns a future diary. "Stop this raid operation now, because this terrorist has a bomb connected to her heart that will explode if she stops, and this will lead to the explosion of the entire school." At the same time, Yuki and Yuno try to reach his friends, and Yuki says to himself, "As soon as I reach them, I will tell them about this diary. I do not know whether they will believe me or not, but I am sure that if we gather we will find a way to stop the ninth." But Yuno feels that something strange will happen, and as soon as Yuki reaches them, suddenly the students grab him and pin him to the ground, because the ninth told them, "If you want to get out of here alive, arrest Yuki and take his phone from him. Then deliver him to me in the schoolyard." So Yuki screams at them, while crying, asking why they betrayed him, and the ninth warns them that if anyone moves the place will explode. So Yuno tells herself, "I am the reason because I made him trust them, but they betrayed him. I am supposed to protect Yuki now." And suddenly Yuno breaks free from the students holding her, and tries to go down quickly to Yuki, and because of her movement many explosions happen in the school. So the ninth is surprised by what is happening, and fear and confusion appear on Yuki's face. So the ninth tells him, "You are not the only one who will die here. I set the bombs to all explode after 10 minutes. So Yuki looks at the clock, and finds that his dead end is approaching. Suddenly a bullet hits the ninth, so investigator Cross from the police appears, and tells Yuki, "Do not be afraid, I will protect you. I am the fourth diary owner. I am sure you do not understand anything right now, but the ninth is trying to kill me, not you." And he shows him his diary and tells him, "My diary name is Investigation, and it predicts crimes before they happen." So the ninth says, "Without wasting much time, my demands are that you kill the first then kill yourself, otherwise I will destroy the whole school. I will win the game and become the ruler." So the fourth points the gun at Yuki, and tells him, "Unfortunately the situation changed now. I will have to kill you and save the school." So Yuki cries. Before the fourth uses the gun, Yuno jumps from the window onto the ninth. So the fourth tells Yuki, "Get up quickly and bring your diary, and prove to yourself that you are not a failure and kill her quickly." But the ninth had placed mines on the ground, so Yuno guides Yuki to move correctly, so he does not step on the mines. So the ninth goes and kicks Yuno, and throws her away and prepares to detonate her, but the students and teachers throw their tools at her, and Yuki runs toward her quickly, and uses his arrows and throws one at her, but it hits her eye instead of the diary, so the ninth screams from severe pain. So the fourth goes to her while pointing his gun at her, and tells her, "It is over now. I I will kill you now, so she replies you forgot the ability of my diary which is escape, and suddenly she makes a smoke barrier and escapes quickly. At sunset, Cross gathers with Yuki and Yuno, and tells them all the players will chase you. I must stop them and stop this game. Before more people die, we must cooperate the three of us to eliminate them. On the next day, Investigator Cross meets again with Yuno and Yuki, and he asks them to help in a special mission, and he tells them my goal is to prevent any other person from dying because of this stupid game. And to do that we must first be able to discover the identities of the other players. We only know 5 out of 12, including me and you already, and the 9th and the 3rd who died, and the purpose of this mission is that we know who the remaining 7 are. So Yuki asks him what are we supposed to do now? So Cross replies first thing you will go to the amusement park, because I am sure that the 9th will try to fight you again, and that is why I want you to go there and be bait for her, and this way we will be able to catch her easily. After that they go to the amusement park, and Yuki says to himself, since we came here we have just been playing, what is this strange mission? They just want us to stay close to the police headquarters only, but this is a good chance so I can know from Yuno why she is helping me, but there is no suitable chance to ask her, because Yuno is excited and wants to try all the rides, so Yuki says to himself she might be just a girl nothing more, but this way I am wasting time, I am supposed to gather all the information available about her. At sunset Yuno says come let us climb this building and explore the stars, but Yuki refuses and goes to ride another game, and after a while Yuki asks her why are you helping me? And also, why did you not kill me after all this? You are supposed to kill all the players so you become the ruler, so she replies because you are the one who gave me hope in life. And we return to the past at school. At that time Yuki had a paper that the teacher gave him to write about his future, but Yuki was very hesitant and did not know what to write. So Yuno goes to him and tells him you also do not know what to write, right? So Yuno notices words on his paper, and Yuki had written, I want to explore the stars with my parents. So Yuno gets surprised. So Yuki tells her my parents divorced and I wish they would return again. But Yuki feels shy and tries to erase what he wrote, but Yuno stops him and suggests that he explores the stars with her in the future when they get married, and she smiles at him. And we return to the present, and Yuki asks her is this the reason you keep helping me? You are surely hiding something from me, right? But in the end she decides not to tell the truth, and after a while they leave the amusement park and head toward Yuno's house, because Yuno invites Yuki to eat. On the other side, the 9th whose name is Yurio is holding her eye from the severe pain because of the arrow that hit her from Yuki, and she says to herself I will not be eliminated from the game this fast, I must endure and win the game, and then I will become the ruler and I will be able to restore my eye again. And after that Yurio goes out to the street and looks at her phone to know how to escape from the police, and suddenly she finds soldiers running after her, but she manages to escape from them behind a rock, and she is surprised that she was following the diary instructions, and yet the soldiers were able to find her, and suddenly a mysterious man appears in front of her and tells her come with me, I will be able to save you, you have no other choice. And after that they go to his house, and he gives her some painkillers, so Yurio asks him who are you? You are saving the wrong person by the way, so he replies I know well what I am doing, so Yurio quickly takes out her phone, and she is surprised that her future did not change. Suddenly Yurio feels pain in her stomach, and she falls to the ground from its intensity, and she asks the mysterious person, what is this medicine you gave me? And she takes out her phone and finds out that he is one of the 12 players, and he tells her I gave you hallucinogenic pills. You are not holding the phone at all, you will now tell me everything you know about the other players, and suddenly he opens her injured eye, and pulls it out from its place. On the other side, and as soon as they arrive at Yuno's house, Yuki sits at the table, and Yuno comes to him and tells him unfortunately the electricity is out today, stay here until I prepare the food, and after Yuno leaves, Yuki goes to look for the bathroom, so Yuki takes out his phone to reach the bathroom faster, but he reads that there is a strange room at the end of the corridor, but there is no information written about it at all, so Yuki is surprised, and he becomes curious to know what is inside, so he decides to open it and go in to see what is inside, and as soon as he opens it the future changes for all the players, and Yuki is shocked by what he sees, which is 3 murdered corpses with blood around them, so Yuno appears behind him and tells him while crying why did you open this room? After that Yuki runs away to his house and enters the house and closes the door behind him quickly and sits on the ground in fear because he cannot forget what he saw in Yuno's house. After a while he sits on his bed while trembling with fear because of what he saw in Yuno's house, and he asks himself why are the corpses in that room, and why did Yuno hide them from me? Is it possible that she actually killed them? And Yuki decides that he will call Investigator Cross to inform him of what he saw, and he opens his phone quickly and searches for his number, but suddenly a message comes from Yuno, written in it, who exactly are you trying to call? So Yuki realizes that there is no escape from her. On the next day Yuki wakes up to the sound of his phone ringing, and it is Investigator Cross calling, and he tells him I am under your house, and ringing the bell, and no one is opening, so Yuki goes down quickly to open the door, and apologizes to him for the delay. So Investigator Cross replies let us go, because we have an important meeting. So Yuki thinks about telling Cross what he saw, and as soon as he starts talking, Yuno interrupts his speech with a threatening smile on her face, so Yuki stays silent and decides not to speak. While they are in the car, Cross tells him that the 9th Yurio was captured by a group called the Mythical Eye, so Yuki is shocked, and Cross continues his speech, I read this in my diary. We are going to them now to understand what happened, so Yuki looks at Yuno, and finds the same smile on her face. After that they arrive at the group, and Cross goes to one of the servants and asks her to see their queen, but Yuki is not standing with him, and he goes to the lake and asks himself while doubt fills his eyes, if I tell Investigator Cross about what happened, Yuno will know because of her diary that she monitors me with, but if she discovers the matter will she kill me too? And he looks behind him and finds Yuno behind his back, and wonders will she keep watching me for long. And after that the servant comes to Cross and asks him to come with her to see the queen. On the other side, the queen is laughing, and says this boy is kind. I must ask Yuki how he got rid of the 2 dead ends, but the girl next to him will be a big source of annoyance to me. I am supposed to get rid of her, and as soon as they arrive Yuki is surprised by the shape of the place. So the queen welcomes them, and tells them I am the mythical eye. Do not be surprised by my eye because I was born with weak vision like this, so I imprisoned myself in this room. All my pleasure is writing the stories of visitors in my book. And she takes out her diary and opens it in front of them, and continues her speech. But weeks ago my diary started informing me about the future, so I named it the Clairvoyance Diary. So the 3 of them are shocked, and she tells them I am the 6th player and this is my diary. So Yuki becomes afraid, so the queen laughs at him and tells him do not worry, I am not greedy for ruling. By the way, I know why you came here. The 9th is in the basement here. You can do whatever you want with her. So Cross asks her what exactly are you planning? So she shows them the dead end sign and tells them that she will die today if she does not do something. That is why she asked for help from Yuki, who was able to save himself from 2 signs before, and she tells them I will make a deal with you. I will hand you the 9th, and in return Yuki will stay with me to save me. So Yuno explodes with anger and replies to her I will never leave Yuki here, but Yuki is confused and does not know what to do. At sunset, Yuki sits with the queen alone in the place, and he notices that her servants help her without her even leaving her room. So Yuki looks at Yuno from afar and says to himself I promised her that I would stay with her today, only. So the 6th calls Yuki and tells him be careful, that girl is planning something, and she will cause your death in the future. But Yuno is sitting reading in her diary, and what is written in it Yuki talks with the 6th, then he looks at me with doubt in his eyes after hearing words about me. So Yuno becomes angry and vows to kill the 6th. Suddenly fires break out in the queen's room, and quickly the servants come with water, and one of them throws it on the fire, but the fire increases more, because the servant sprayed gasoline instead of water. So the chief servant asks what are you doing? Do you want to kill the queen? But that servant is not conscious and stabs the chief servant with a knife. So Yuno and Yuki are shocked, and suddenly the queen's followers enter with weapons and start killing each other. So Yuki becomes afraid and steps 2 steps back, and asks himself what happened to the people. I will go and save the queen, maybe she is the one who can control them. But Yuno stops him and prevents him from going, so he replies I cannot leave her to die. But Yuno tells him let her die. I read bad things about you in my diary. If you enter there you will die. Trust me and let us go back home. So Yuki refuses to go with her, and tells her so you can kill me right? If I had stayed with you yesterday I would have become a corpse by now. How can I trust you again? I will go save the queen. So Yuno cries. So Yuki runs to her door and breaks it with an axe, and as soon as he enters the water pumps in the ceiling start working, so Yuki goes to her to check on her, but the queen does not respond to him, and she shouts loudly at her followers and orders them to stop this fighting. So the people regain consciousness from what they were in, and ask themselves what are we doing? So Yuki asks the queen what exactly happened to them. So she replies I think someone used hypnosis on my followers. On the other side under the queen's chamber, the person who kidnapped the 9th is holding her there, and asks her how is your eye now? You are supposed to thank me for this treatment? So Yurio becomes angry, and replies you pulled out my eye, and made the first know where I am. So that person notices that the chaos caused by the followers stopped, so Yurio is surprised because she does not hear any chaos above. So that person tells her I wish to be a righteous hero, and he starts wearing his special outfit, and behaves strangely. So Yurio is surprised by him, and after he finishes wearing his outfit, he tells her I am player number 12. I am blind but I have a very high hearing ability. So Yurio asks him can you hear everything above? So he replies to her if the 6th can see everything, then I can hear everything. The people above will not be able to defeat me. So Yurio tells him but the girl above can defeat you very easily, and Yurio is talking about Yuno. On the other side, Yuki calls Cross but he does not answer, so the queen tells him surely the enemy is somewhere close to here. We must find him as soon as possible, and the queen opens her diary and continues her speech. It predicts the future through the reports of my followers, and suddenly Yuki notices a prediction about an enemy at the back gate, and notices another enemy at the front gate, and suddenly the future changes, so Yuki asks what is happening, so she replies there are predictions about many enemies, so he tells her surely your followers were controlled by hypnosis, so the queen becomes confused, because she cannot get correct information from the diary. After that, Yuki takes the queen and they go out of the room, and suddenly they find Yuno standing in front of them holding an axe, and she points it toward the queen, and tells her I will kill you here now, so Yuki and the queen are shocked. And suddenly the future changes for them, and Yuki opens his phone quickly to see what happened, and finds the dead end sign, and it is written in the diary that the queen's followers will kill Yuki. So Yuki says to himself if I do not do something I will die with the 6th, but where will I attack from? So Yuno looks at the dead followers, and raises the axe and hits them again, so Yuki asks her what are you doing? So she replies the corpses are not dead yet, and suddenly the corpses wake up again, and grab the weapons and head toward Yuki. So Yuki says while afraid, hypnosis makes them act like zombies. So Yuno raises her weapon and tries to kill them, and she gives Yuki the choice either to be with the 6th and die, or be with her and live! So Yuki is shocked. So Yuno tells him the enemy is only chasing the 6th. That is why you must leave her and escape. So Yuki asks himself, am I not supposed to protect the queen? I will never be able to make a decision on my own. So Yuno goes to Yuki and tells him we must leave now. So Yuki pulls the queen to go with them. So the queen thanks him for what he is doing for her. While they are running, Cross calls Yuki and asks him what is happening there. So he replies there is someone who used hypnosis on the queen's followers. So Cross tells him I contacted the support team from the police headquarters. You go to the front gate and escape, and I will look for the 9th and arrest her. On the other side, player number 12 is listening to an audio recording, so Yurio asks him what are you doing? So he replies this is my righteous diary, and it records the criminals who must be punished, and the weak who must be protected. It predicted the actions of the evil group, that is why I infiltrated among them to stop the 6th, and then I pretended that I was one of them, and arrested you. Suddenly the future changes for him, and he goes to listen to the new predictions. Then he tells the 9th, I will take your bombs from you. I am going to finish off the 6th. If you do not want to get involved, escape quickly. And he throws her the cell keys. At the same time, Yuno runs with Yuki and the queen quickly toward the gate, and on their way they meet the queen's followers. So the followers welcome them, so the 3 of them are surprised. And Yuki wonders did they regain their consciousness again, and while they are running the queen stops them, and tells Yuki come let us face the enemy here, since my followers regained their awareness, we have a chance to defeat him. So Yuno goes to her, and tells her you are trying to deceive Yuki again, I will kill you, but the queen denies her words. While Yuki is confused and does not know how to act, he receives a call from Cross, so Yuki answers him, and Cross tells him that player 12 is on his way to you. I arrested the 9th and she told me that. He has a very strong sense of hearing, and he also stole the 9th's bombs. So Yuno points upward at the building, and 12 is controlling 4 of the queen's followers, and dressed them in the same outfit as his with different colors. So he tells Yuki listen the 6th deceived you. This is an evil organization that fabricates actions to commit crimes. My goal is to eliminate the 6th. Leave now and do not get involved. One of us 5 has a bomb and will blow himself up with the 6th. Since my dead end sign appeared, I will kill her with me. But Yuki decides in the end to protect the queen. So the 5 attack them, and with a smart move Yuno grabs a stone and throws it on the ground, and says only one of them is blind and will follow the sound of the stone, and indeed Yuno manages to identify who the real player is, and she runs toward him quickly holding the axe, and strikes him with it, and kills him, and Yuno falls to the ground from exhaustion, so Yuki goes to her to check on her. But suddenly the 6 betrays Yuki, and orders her followers to arrest them, so Yuki asks her what are you doing? So she replies I will kill both of you. In fact I was going to use the 9th as bait to kill you and the 2nd and the 4th, but this 12th ruined my plan, and now my dead end sign is supposed to be removed, and she opens her diary and is surprised that it is still not removed, and quickly Yuno breaks free from the soldiers, takes the axe and kills several of them, and rushes toward the queen quickly and strikes her, and manages to cut off her hands, so the 6th screams from severe pain, and Yuno goes to Yuki and gives him her phone, pushes him and tells him escape quickly, and then she faints. On the other side, Cross and Yurio are watching what is happening from a distant place, and Cross says we will also be trapped here and most likely die. Even the support I requested cannot enter the place because they closed the exit gate, so Yurio asks him to remove the handcuffs from her hands, so he replies I will remove them but on one condition. After a while, one of the servants treats the queen's hand, so she gets up and goes to Yuno and tells her, I will become the ruler and destroy this world, I will make you bait to catch the first, I will kill Yuki in front of your eyes! So Yuno asks her what will you do? So she replies I will torture you until Yuki appears here, and she grabs the microphone and calls Yuki, and tells him I will torture your friend until you come here on your own. On the other side, Yuki is hiding in one of the places from the queen's followers, and he opens both diaries his and Yuno's, and Yuki cries and regrets that he did not listen to Yuno's words about the queen, and suddenly Yuki hears the queen's words, and he is confused whether to save Yuno or escape, but in the end he decides to help her, and runs quickly while crying, and remembers every moment with Yuno. Yuki manages to reach her at the right time, and takes out an arrow from his arrows, so the 6th tells him you will not be able to kill me, because my followers will arrest you first, so he replies my dead end sign has not appeared yet. I will save Yuno and we will both get out of here alive, and Yuki throws a ball in the air to distract the queen's followers, so the queen tries to protect her diary, but Yuki is faster than her and throws an arrow at it and destroys it, so the 6th disappears from life, so Yuno goes to him and hugs him while crying. On the next day, Yuno goes and breaks the window of Yuki's house and enters to hide inside it while Yuki is waiting for his mother, and after that they take a taxi to the house, and his mother tells him you grew up since the last time I saw you, and as soon as they arrive home they find the window broken, so Yuki quickly takes out his phone to see if it was Yuno or not, and he actually finds that she is the one behind the matter. So he opens the door quickly and tells his mother, I am sorry because I broke the window, you go prepare dinner, and Yuki runs up to the room, and he is surprised to find Yuno cleaning his room, so he asks her what are you doing here? So she replies I wanted your mother to like me, that is why I cleaned the house. So Yuki gets nervous and tells her leave from here quickly, so his mother calls him and tells him why did you leave food on the stove? So Yuki gets confused because he does not know what to do, so Yuki locks Yuno in his closet, so she asks him what are you doing? So he tries to distract her and apologizes to her for leaving the food on the stove. So Yuno prepares herself and tries to open the closet and calls Yuki, but Yuki quickly closes the closet so his mother does not notice. But his mother notices a girl's voice and asks him about it, but Yuki tries to change the subject. But Yuno calls him again, so his mother tells him, I am sure I heard a girl's voice in the room. What are you hiding in the closet? But he quickly takes his mother and gets her out of his room, but he cannot hide Yuno more than that, and his mother enters and discovers her matter. At night they sit the three of them to have dinner, and his mother says, I cannot believe that you did not want to tell me that you have a girlfriend, but Yuki is very embarrassed and does not know how to speak, and his mother eats from Yuno's food and is amazed by its taste, and she says while smiling, you will really be an ideal wife for my son, so Yuki gets more and more embarrassed. On the other side, in some hospital, there is a doctor examining the ninth's eye and gives her a prosthetic eye to wear for appearance. So, Yurio notices that there are many children this time and asks the doctor since when do children come here. So he replies these children are the ones whose parents died in the mythical eye incident, and they are here so we can do a full medical examination for them, but that girl over there is strange. She keeps talking about wanting to take revenge for her parents. At the same time, Dace is sitting watching the players and says the players' diaries are interesting. Each one of them has 1 or 2 abilities, so Murumuru replies, but only one person will inherit your rule. The game law states that the winner is the last one remaining. Out of 12 players, only 9 remain. I hope it is decided who will become the ruler after you before you die. And we return to Yuki again, and his mother tells him that she will take 3 days off, so he asks her why. So she replies, you surely heard about the mythical eye incident. So Yuki is shocked, and his mother continues her speech. One of my colleagues was among the deceased. That is why I was asked to take care of a child, and do not worry, they are only 3 days. By the way, it is late now. That is why Yuno will stay with us today. So Yuki gets more shocked. On the next day, Yuki wakes up to the sound of a car under his house, so he opens the window to see what is there, and he finds that the child his mother will take care of has arrived, and he goes down and opens the door. So his mother tells him, this is the child I told you about yesterday, so he welcomes them very much, and after that they enter the house. After a while they are sitting the 3 of them watching that child while he is drawing, and what he draws is Yuno. So Yuki and his mother praise him, and after he finishes it he cuts it with scissors, and goes to Yuno to give it to her, but he trips while walking, and hits the scissors into her, so Yuki gets up worried about her, but Yuno reassures them, and tells them that the scissors hit the pillow, and after that the child goes to the bathroom, and takes out his diary, and says you turned out to be stronger than expected, Yuno. The first and the second form a strong pair together, and they also manage to kill many players. Their diaries complement each other, and compared to my diary it is very weak. It predicts only 3 times per day, meaning that I only have 3 chances to kill Yuki and Yuno. After that they all sit down to eat, and the mother tells them that the child helped her prepare it, so he replies that is correct, I am the one who made the salad. Then the mother receives a call, so she excuses herself and gets up to talk on the phone, so Yuki asks the child while he is eating the salad he prepared, what brought you here? So he replies while waiting for Yuki to eat the tomato that contains poison, I met your mother at work and decided to stay with her. When Yuki takes the tomato to eat it, Yuno stops him quickly, and tells him this tomato has something in it, its weight is less than the last time I washed it, it definitely has something, so do not eat it, and as she stands she looks at the child with a suspicious look, and suddenly the future changes for Yuki, so he becomes very surprised, and asks himself what happened. After they finish eating, the child walks around the house, and asks himself did the first sense something strange. Anyway I will kill him, and suddenly Yuno puts her hand on him, and tells him with a threatening smile I am sorry that I threw away your salad, I hope you find the criminals who killed your parents, and after Yuno leaves, that child laughs, and says to himself the war has started now. After that the child tries to kill them, and connects electricity to the water, so that as soon as Yuno enters to shower she will get electrocuted and die. But Yuki's future changes, and he reads that Yuno will be exposed to an electric shock, so he thinks quickly about what to do to save her, so he decides to turn on all the devices so that a short circuit happens, and Yuki actually manages to save her. On the next day, Yuki searches everywhere in the house for the child's diary, but he does not find it anywhere, and suddenly Yuno comes out of the kitchen holding a knife, so he asks her what are you doing? You cannot kill him no matter what, he is still a child. All we are supposed to do is take his diary only, so she replies that child is carrying the diary, it is better that we kill him before he finishes us, and suddenly the child appears in front of them, and tells them you will never find it, you have no chance with these stupid minds. But Yuki does not give up, and goes to search for it in the kitchen, and says surely if I search for it in places not mentioned in my diary I will find it. So Yuno enters and chooses a knife to kill the child with, but Yuki stops her again, and tells her that she cannot kill him while his mother is present. After that the 2 of them go and search in the house garden, because it is the only place Yuki did not search, so Yuno asks what are they supposed to do, but he does not find her behind him, and at the same time Yuno is holding a hammer and running toward the child to kill him. But he tries to escape from her as much as he can, and becomes very surprised by her, and asks her how can you show your true self this fast. So the mother notices noise in the house, and comes out to see what is happening, so Yuno hits her on the head by mistake, and she falls on the ground unconscious, so Yuki is shocked by what he sees. After that Yuki takes his mother to the bed to treat her, so Yuno apologizes to Yuki, and expresses her deep regret, so Yuki scolds her, because he told her many times that this is not the way they can get rid of the child. So Yuno gets up and goes to the kitchen and tries to think like the child in order to know where he hid his diary. So Yuki enters and finds her unconscious, but she is actually deep in thought, and she opens her eyes and tells Yuki, I figured out where he hid the diary, and suddenly the doorbell rings, and it is the delivery man bringing a new order. So Yuki goes to open the door, but the child reaches the door before him, so Yuno runs quickly and tells Yuki that order is his diary, take it from him quickly. So Yuki runs and takes it from him, and as soon as he opens it, the future changes for Yuno, and she reads that Yuki will inhale toxic gas! So she tries to stop him, but Yuki has already opened it, and toxic gas spreads throughout the house, and Yuki falls to the ground, so the child tells them I tricked you. Yuki was supposed to open it from the other side, and Yuno quickly takes him and puts him in the bathroom and closes the door quickly, but Yuki is very exhausted. So the child asks them, will you stay hiding like that for long? Anyway, he is about to die, and he directs his words to Yuno, come let us play a game. If you manage to catch me, I will give you the cure for Yuki, and if you die because of the gas, I am the one who wins. So Yuki replies, what are you doing? My mother will also be harmed. So he replies, do not worry, I took her outside the house. I also do not want anything to happen to her. And now the game has started. So Yuno leaves the bathroom, but Yuki tries to stop her and warns her about him because she might fall into one of his traps. But Yuno smiles at him and promises him that she will bring the cure and return to him, and Yuno goes out to search for the child and hears the sound of his laughter inside the closet, and as soon as she opens it she finds only a doll, so Yuno gets angry. She goes to search for him in the living room, but as soon as she enters she steps on nails on the ground, so she feels severe pain but cannot make a sound, so she does not inhale the gas and heads toward the window to breathe air, but the child has tightly closed the window and she cannot open it. So she thinks quickly about what to do, so she decides to break it, and she actually manages to save herself at the last moment. After that she searches for him a lot but does not find him, so she goes up the stairs and suddenly finds him standing in front of her, so Yuno is surprised, why is he standing there? She finds a lot of water flowing down the stairs, and she is shocked when she finds the child's hand electrified, so he throws her into the water, and Yuno gets electrocuted. And at the same time Yuki hears Yuno's screams and tries to go to help her, so the child takes out the poison syringe and is about to inject it into Yuno, but suddenly Yuki appears and throws an arrow at him from his arrows, but he cannot continue and falls from the stairs, so Yuno gets up holding the knife and kills him with it. So the child tells her, you really managed to defeat me, take the cure here, and do not worry, this one is the real one, and after that the child disappears from life. So Yuno takes the cure and tries to go to Yuki, but she has inhaled the toxic gas and faints, but suddenly the ninth appears in front of them and takes the cure and is the one who treats them, and takes them outside the house and manages to save them. After a period of time, Des holds a meeting with the remaining players and tells them 4 of you have died, and until now 8 are still alive, and suddenly one of the players raises his hand and asks Des to exempt him from the game because he wants to transfer ownership of the diary to another person. After 2 weeks have passed since the child incident, Yuki is walking in the street to go to the new school, and while he is on his way Yuno calls him, but Yuki gets nervous. Then he takes her, and they go to school together, and Yuki is holding his phone reading his diary, so Yuno tells him it is better that you do not use your diary at school. Do you not remember your mistake with the 3rd player? But suddenly Yuki notices a strange man standing far away looking at him, and he points him out to Yuno, but he mysteriously disappears. After that they arrive at school, and Yuki enters his classroom, but stays alert for anything that might happen, and as soon as he sits on his chair, his old friend from the exploded school, Kosaka, looks at him and greets him. So Yuki remembers what he did to him, that he betrayed him and handed him to the ninth to kill him. So Kosaka tells him, I cannot believe you managed to appear again, and he raises his voice and continues his speech. After you left all the students in the exploded school to die so easily. So all the students in the classroom pay attention and look at him. So Yuki gets nervous and asks himself, why is he raising his voice like that? And Kosaka continues his words, do you think you will start here again from the beginning? You will still be alone and rejected. Suddenly a female student named Hinata hits him on the head, and from the strength of the hit Yuki falls to the ground, so Kosaka gets angry and asks her, what are you doing? So she replies, you are not supposed to start a fight on the first day of school, and she extends her hand to Yuki to help him up. After that the teacher enters the classroom and distributes papers warning them about the serial killer, so Yuki gets surprised. So Kosaka asks him, did you not hear about the people who were killed in this city? So Hinata joins them in the conversation. Those people were killed brutally, and there are rumors saying they were eaten, and their bodies have bite marks to the point you cannot recognize the corpse. So another student named Mao replies, I heard that the police will not publish news about the killer, but maybe Akashi knows something. So Yuki is surprised, and she tells him he is a student with us here, but he is the strangest student in the school. He always skips classes and plays the role of a detective. After school, Yuno is standing waiting for Yuki so they can walk together, but she is shocked when she finds him walking with his new friends. Then they all go for a walk in the park, and Yuki tells Yuno, who is upset because he made friends other than her, we are going to the crime scene to explore the place, and as soon as they arrive there are blood traces on the ground, and after they finish they go to play for a while, but Yuno stands alone angry at Yuki, so Hinata calls her to sit with them, but Yuno has a threatening smile on her face. After that Hinata is standing alone, so Yuki goes to her and thanks her for the enjoyable time, so she replies, no need to thank me, we are friends, and by the way come let us explore this forest. I will go ahead there. And after she moves away from them, she hears strange sounds coming from the forest, so she goes to see what it is, and suddenly she finds many monsters. At the same time, Yuki and his friends are heading to Hanada, and suddenly the future changes for Yuki, so Yuno tells him that sound means that there is a person with a future diary nearby, so Yuki asks her what are we supposed to do now, and he worries about Hanada because she went ahead alone, so he decides to read his diary, but Yuno tries to stop him so he can escape and leave his friends, but Yuki refuses, and reads in his diary that Hanada died, so Yuki is shocked and runs quickly toward the forest. While they are running fast, they find Hanada's eaten corpse, so they are all shocked, and they notice a group of dogs standing next to the corpse. So Kosaka asks them what are we going to do now? We are supposed to run quickly before they eat us, and suddenly Akashi appears behind them, and tells them I can help you, if you stay here until night you will die, and Yuki is trembling from fear, so the dogs start approaching them one by one, so Akashi tells them there is a building there we will be safe inside it, but we must run as fast as we can, but Yuki is not comprehending anything, and starts crying. On the other side in a dog protection facility, there is a person who takes care of all the dogs and controls them, and sits on his chair, and says I am the owner of future diary number 10, and my plan has started now. I gave my diary and my dogs to my daughter, and the surprise is that his daughter is Hanada! At the same time they succeed in reaching the building that Akashi told them about, but the dogs are standing outside waiting for them to come out, so Akashi goes to Yuki, and tells him let me introduce myself, I am Akashi and my dream is to be the most famous detective in the world, and when I looked into you I found you involved in the mythical eye incident and the school explosion, and also killing the serial killer. I believe you are hiding a big secret, but do not worry I did not come to investigate you. In the end we are just classmates and friends, so Yuno replies are you sure he is really your friend? Think carefully Yuki. The person controlling these dogs is close to here, and could be one of these friends, and personally I suspect Akashi, but the dogs are about to break the glass. So Yuki quickly takes out his phone to read his diary, but Yuno tries to convince him to leave them to the dogs and escape together, so Yuki thinks carefully before acting, and in the end he decides to help them, and starts directing his friends toward the windows that they must secure well, so they manage to hold off the dogs well. At night the dogs give up and return to their place again, so they all rejoice with Yuki, and Yuki tells them the secret of his diary, but Yuno is angry at him, and suddenly Mao goes to Yuki and restrains him, and also takes his phone from him, and puts the knife on his neck, so they are all shocked, and suddenly Hanada enters on them, and tells Yuki I did not expect you to expose your secret so easily. Hanada goes and takes Yuki's phone from Mao, and tells Yuno do not move from your place, and by the way I was not chasing Yuki. I wanted to destroy Akashi's diary! So they are all shocked that Akashi is also a player with them. And we go back in time and Hanada is talking to her father, and he tells her just as you expected I am the serial killer, I was trying to kill the players from the game that I told you about, but I am still regretful about the dogs that I left with you and your mother, and because of them your mother was killed, I wanted to become the ruler and go back in time again. So Hanada asks him then why do we not start again, and unite together and return everything as it was, so he replies it will not work, and her father stands up and goes to the window and opens the curtain and continues his speech, because there is someone trying to kill me already, so Hanada is shocked because it is Akashi her classmate at school, and her father continues his words, he is definitely carrying a diary that is why he is chasing me, and it will be hard to return to how it was while he exists, so Hanada thinks about killing him. And we return to the present, and Hanada says I used a fake corpse to trick you into thinking that I was killed. Even Akashi's diary would not predict the identity of the dead. So Yuki asks her so that means you made us go to the park to capture Akashi. So she replies you were a perfect bait to catch him. So Yuki becomes sad, and feels betrayed by his friend. So Akashi tells her I agree to give you my diary, but first let us play a game, and Akashi throws a coin upward and asks her left or right. I have a special diary and you have Yuki's diary, and whoever wins will take the other's diary, so Hanada agrees because she believes that she will win. So Akashi replies do not forget that I also have a diary and I can predict correctly, so Hanada gets a little worried. So Mao tells her use Yuki's diary, it is the one that can predict correctly, so Akashi throws her the coin and tells her come let us try first before we start the real game. So Hanada takes the coin and reads Yuki's diary and knows that if she puts it in her right hand she will win, but Yuki tries to give a signal to Akashi about the coin's location, but Hanada notices Yuki and changes the coin to her left hand and becomes happy because Akashi will predict the right as Yuki told him. But suddenly Akashi predicts the left hand, so they are all shocked, especially Hanada who did not listen to the diary. So Akashi tells her now let us play for real, so Akashi takes the coin from her and throws it upward, and asks her right or left, so Hanada reads Yuki's diary and knows that she is supposed to choose the right hand, but her answer is wrong, and the coin is in Akashi's right hand, and suddenly the future changes for all of them. But Yuno notices that no sound came from Akashi's phone, and Akashi says now I one hand over your phone and Yuki's, so she replies no I will free Yuki only, if you want the diary play another round. So Yuki goes to Akashi to praise him and congratulates him on his skill in choosing the correct place, but Yuno feels that something is wrong and says to herself how did all our phones make a sound except his, so Akashi says let us start the last round and if I win I will take the diary, and suddenly Yuno jumps on Akashi and knocks him to the ground and raises the knife at him and asks him you do not have a diary like us right, so Yuki shouts at her and asks her what are you doing at a time like this, so she replies if we continue like this you will lose, and she takes Akashi's phone and finds that nothing is written in his diary and is surprised that he is not a player like them. So Akashi laughs and tells her it was very fun that you thought I had a diary while I was actually lying to you. So Yuki asks him but how did you win twice? So Akashi replies I was just guessing the place. Hanada lost confidence in herself, that is why she lost. So Yuno tells him so all this time you were playing with Yuki's life. I will kill you now. but quickly Akashi stands up and flips Yuno to the ground, and says let us play the last round. Hinata wants to kill me because I found out her father's secret, that is why I will bet my life to take Yuki's diary. So Hinata replies if you win you will take the diary, but if you lose you will be dinner for the dogs today, and Hinata starts the game, and gives Akashi the choice right or left. So Yuno goes to Yuki and puts her hand on his ear so he does not hear the prediction, so Akashi chooses right, and it turns out to be the correct answer, so Hinata is shocked, so she removes Yuno's hand, and Akashi tells him that he predicted wrong, so Yuki enters a state of panic, so Yuno hits him quickly so he faints. So Hinata asks herself why did Akashi lie to Yuki, so Hinata discovers the truth, so Akashi tells her I expect you figured it out, these predictions depend on the information that Yuki believes, even if it is wrong, although Yuki has the ability to know the future, he believed that you were dead, I plan to tell Yuki that I lost no matter the result, so that he would not be able to predict the correct place afterward, and suddenly Yuno jumps on Hinata to stab her with the knife, but Mao saves her and takes the hit instead. So Hinata pushes her away quickly and shouts at them, you want to kill my friends just like you want to kill my father? So Akashi goes to Yuki to tell him that they must leave now, and after that Hinata sits alone with Mao, who is soaked in blood, and wipes her tears and orders her dogs to attack them. So they hear the sound of dogs everywhere, and Yuki opens his phone to see what he should do, and reads that at this rate they will all die, and suddenly Yuki stops, and tells them run away you all, because like this the dogs will kill us all, I will go to Hinata and try to stop her, so Akashi replies and we will try to lure the dogs away from you. So Yuki runs on his way to Hinata, but he notices Yuno behind him, so he asks her what are you doing? This is not the plan we agreed on, so she tells him on the contrary, this is the plan we agreed on in the building. So Yuki remembers her words when she told him let us make them distract the dogs, and we escape far away, so Yuki refuses, and tells her that he is going to Hinata to stop her. So she replies you are not forced to risk your life for friends, and Yuno pulls out the knife and stabs a dog that lunged at Yuki. At the same time, Hinata is sitting sadly next to Mao, and asks herself why did all this happen, and remembers moments from her life with her parents and Yuki, and Hinata cries, and tells herself I need someone to help me now, I have nowhere to go after today. On the other side, Yuno tries to convince Yuki to leave his friends and escape, but Yuki continues to refuse, and runs quickly toward Hinata, so as soon as she sees them, Hinata orders her dogs to attack them, but Yuno jumps on her quickly, and puts the knife on her neck, and demands that she stop them immediately, but Hinata continues, summoning the dogs, so Yuno replies I will kill you now. So Yuki calls out to her, and tells Yuno all we have to do is control the 10th player's diary only. So she replies but Hinata tried to kill you! So Yuki replies but I forgave her now, why do you not want me to have friends? And at the same time Kosaka and Akashi are coming behind him, so Yuno tells him because if you stay with her you will love her, that is why I must kill her, I will not allow anyone to get close to you. So Yuki replies but you are not just a friend, so Yuno cries, and Yuki continues his words while lying to her, I love you, so Yuno becomes shy and Yuki continues, and now you are supposed to treat them as your friends too, so Yuno surrenders, and Yuki says to himself what did I just do, I told a lie that I cannot take back. So Hinata goes to him, and tells him but I deceived you Yuki, so he replies there is no need for that talk now, I forgave you already, so she says I am sorry dad, I turned out to be a bad girl, and suddenly her father replies through a microphone attached to one of the dogs, do not be sad Hinata you were good, so she replies but you wanted to become the ruler so you could go back in time and start again, so her father laughs, and asks her did you really believe that lie, you are very naive, I did not expect it would be this easy to deceive you like the dogs, and I do not want you when you grow up to be like me, and suddenly investigator Cross appears behind him, and raises the gun at him, and shoots him and kills him. On the other side, the 9th is sitting preparing her bombs to kill the remaining players with them, and after a while she gets tired and decides to stop for now, and she stands up and looks beside her, and finds her outfit that she wears during battles. And we go back to the past, and at that time the 9th was trying to enter a fight with player number 3, but she did not consider that the 3rd suit is resistant to bullets and bombs, so she tries to escape quickly and jumps from the top of the building they were in, and suddenly she encounters a police investigator named Najishima, so he is surprised by her, but Yurio escapes quickly. However, her legs get injured because of the jump she made from the top of the building, and she falls to the ground and Najishima arrests her. So she tells him you must get away from me quickly, so that we do not both die, but Nagashima refuses, and suddenly the 3rd throws a knife at them, and jumps from the top of the building, but Yurio avoids it quickly, so Nagashima is surprised, and asks is there another person who fell from above, so she replies that is the serial killer who wants to kill us, so Nagashima raises his weapon at him, but Yurio stops him, and tells him that weapons will not work on him, we must escape immediately, so she asks him to remove the handcuffs or they will die, but Nagashima refuses again. After that they go to an abandoned place to hide there, and Nagashima asks her how long will we keep running like this, so she replies I do not know how much information he gets from his diary, so Nagashima is surprised by this talk, but Yurio does not reply to him, and takes him and they leave their place, and they go to a room full of clothes, so Yurio is surprised, so Nagashima tells her this is probably a costume design room, and he notices that Yurio is shivering from the cold, so he gives her an outfit so she can change her clothes. After she finishes he asks her do you still have other weapons, so she replies I only have this flash bomb, but do not worry I have a plan, since bullets and bombs will not affect him, then we must lure him into the sound amplification room, and explode the bomb there, and then he will be affected by the power of the sound, and after that we escape together, but suddenly Yurio shoots the investigator. and we return to the present with Yuki, and he is happy because he will meet Akashi, because he now has friends to go out with, but he is surprised to find Yuno coming to him, so he asks her, what are you doing here? So she replies, there is no time now, come ride the bus quickly before it leaves, but Yuki refuses to go with her, and tells her, I am supposed to meet Akashi now? So she replies, Akashi also sent me a message, just come ride first, and as soon as they get on the bus, Yuno shows him Akashi's message, which is written in it, there is a nearby trip that is a simulation of a wedding party for you, since Yuki loves you, and he invited you to go together, but he told me that he is a little embarrassed, that is why he told me to inform you, so Yuki feels that something is wrong. As soon as they arrive, Yuno is very happy, but Yuki feels deep regret that he told her about his love, so a worker there welcomes them, and he notices from her name that she is the wife of Investigator Cross, and after that she takes them to try the food there, and after they finish they go to change their clothes and prepare for the wedding simulation, so Yuki is surprised by Yuno's beauty, but she is shy. After a while they go to take photos, and as soon as Yuki sees the picture, he starts to get more nervous, and says I must tell her the truth quickly, because she is taking this more seriously than necessary! But every time he looks at her he finds her happy, so he becomes afraid to tell her the truth, so she does not get upset, and asks himself, why do I not really love her? Is it because she is one of the players and might kill me in the end, or because of the corpses that I saw in the room? At the end of the day, Yuki goes to take Yuno home, and as soon as he arrives he notices that the door is open, and he enters the house and tries to turn on the light, but he finds that the electricity is out again, and suddenly he finds Akashi inside! So Yuki is shocked, and asks him what are you doing here? So he replies I took advantage of you being out of this house, and sneaked in to explore it. So Yuki tells him so you entered that room. Why did you open it? So he replies I expected to find corpses here, but the surprise is that I found this pit! So Yuki is shocked. Akashi wonders how did you even dig this pit? It is so deep that I cannot find the bottom. So Yuki asks Yuno what did you do with the corpses? So Yuno thinks for a moment, but gives an unexpected answer, and tells him come with me to the guest room, and act as if you are the owners of the house normally. This is the first time you visit me, Yuki. So Yuki is even more shocked! After a while they leave her place, and Akashi says it is possible that she altered her memory. I think her mental powers are unstable. I must uncover everything about her for her own good, and after that Akashi leaves and goes away. On the other side at the police headquarters, Cross meets with some investigators, and tells them the serial killer who was killing people with dogs recently died, and the two suspects are Yuno and Yuki. I want you to arrest them as soon as possible! And we return to the past, and Investigator Cross goes to Yurio to beg her to help him, so Yurio asks him what do you want to do? So he replies I want to make a deal with you. I will not attack you at the current time, and I will also leak information to you from the police headquarters, and in return I want you to become my ally. So she tells him why specifically me, I think Yuki would be an excellent ally for you. So he replies no I want you. Yuki and Yuno are not ready to become rulers, and if that happens the world will be destroyed just like the Sixth wanted, but you want to become the ruler to make the world a better place. And we return to the present, and Yuki is walking alone in the street, and says to himself Yuno is protecting me because I am the only support she has, but if things continue like this, Yuno will never recover from her madness. And suddenly a group of investigators surround him, and Investigator Nagashima is with them, and tells him I know that I scared you, but Cross urgently wants to meet you, so Yuki becomes nervous. After that Nagashima goes to Cross, and informs him that he arrested Yuno and Yuki, so he replies wait a little and then bring Yuki in first, and at the same time Yuki is very scared, and asks Yuno what will happen now. So she replies what I know is that they will ask us some questions only, do not worry Yuki. Whatever happens I will stay beside you. So Yuki looks at the faces of the investigators, and finds that they are not taking their eyes off him, and suddenly Yuno enters her madness mode, and tells Yuki we are in danger here. Anyway we are supposed to protect our diary, and look for anything that could work as a weapon, so Yuki becomes tense, and says I must control Yuno, before she does something dangerous. After a while Nagashima enters on him, and informs him that he will meet Cross now, and as soon as he enters he finds him holding his pistol and cleaning it, so Yuki gets scared, and Cross starts his talk after the 10th died. There was someone who said that he saw you in an area close to him, so Yuki replies impossible, so Cross continues his talk, I know, my diary did not even say that you are suspects. Anyway I finish my questions, so Yuki becomes happy, but Cross asks him to play a game with him using the pistol, which is that he will put one bullet in the gun, and they will shoot at each other, and whoever survives will be the winner. At the same time the future changes for Yuno, and she knows that Yuki is in danger, so she takes a fire extinguisher, and goes behind an investigator to take his weapon, but as soon as Nagashima sees her he asks her where are you going, but she does not reply to him, so he runs after her quickly. And we return to Yuki again, who is very scared, so Cross shoots at Yuki with the pistol, but luckily the bullet does not fire, and he tells him why are you scared, and after several rounds, Yuki tells him but you are supposed to be our ally, so he replies but I broke that alliance, I want to be the ruler, and before he fires the last shot which contains the bullet, Yuno opens the door and shoots at him with the pistol, and when the bullets of the first gun run out, she takes out another gun and continues shooting with it, so Yuki tries to stop her, and suddenly Nagashima goes to catch up with Cross, so Yuno raises the gun at him, but Yuki tries to stop her, and they hear the sound of investigators coming toward them, so they escape quickly, so the investigators go to Cross, and the surprise is that he is alive because he was wearing a bulletproof suit. At the same time, Yuki and Yuno run at maximum speed, and they are taking Nagashima hostage with them, so the investigators find them and run after them. So they go to the exit, and Yuno fires shots at the investigators, which hit one of them in the shoulder, and after that they go up the stairs quickly, and suddenly the investigators surround them again, and warn them that if they move they will shoot at them, so Yuki turns his face in fear, and cries and shoots at the investigator, and they escape quickly. So Investigator Cross speaks through the microphone and informs all the investigators not to let Yuno and Yuki escape from this building, and also that they have the right to shoot at them. And suddenly the dead end sign appears for Yuno and Yuki, so both of them are shocked. And while Cross is being treated, he says I had to make Yuno and Yuki commit a crime against the law, and that way the police will chase them, and I will have the authority to kill them. And at the same time Yuki and Yuno reach the rooftop of the building and prepare to jump from it, and Yuki apologizes to Yuno that he could not control her, and after that they both jump together and escape far away. After this incident, it spreads in the news about a girl and a boy who opened fire on the police headquarters during their interrogation and then escaped, and police teams were deployed to search for them, but until now no one has seen them. On the other side, Yuki and Yuno are hiding in some hospital, and suddenly Yuki hears the sound of his stomach and tells her that he is very hungry, so she replies, "You must endure a little. As I read in our diary, we will die tomorrow at one of the restaurants because of an exchange of gunfire with the police." So Yuki asks her why did Cross betray us, but Yuno does not have an answer, and suddenly Yuki smells food and looks from the window and finds Cross's wife leaving the hospital, so both of them are surprised and decide that they will follow her. While they are walking behind her, suddenly the future changes for Yuno, and then an explosion happens in the hospital, so Yuno opens her eyes and sees the ninth holding Yuki, so she asks her, "What are you doing here?" So she replies, "I waited a long time to reach this moment, I will kill you here now," but Yuki detonates a bomb by mistake, and because of it both of them get stuck in their place, so Yurio gets angry at him and tells him, "What did you do that for?" So Yuno thinks about how to act to save Yuki, and puts a ladder for him so he can cross over it. As soon as Yuki tries to cross the ladder, Yurio stops him, and tells him if you cross alone Yuno will remove the ladder so I cannot cross too. That is why I will cross first, so Yuki stops her, and tells her we are enemies now and you want to kill us, so she replies then we will be temporary allies, and then I will tell you why Cross betrayed you. And suddenly Yurio receives a call, and it is Cross calling her, and tells her I found out what happened in the hospital, I am on my way to you now, try to endure the situation a little. So Yuki shouts I knew you would betray me, so she replies wait, I told you that I am on your side now, so Cross hears her, and tells her you are betraying me then, so she tries to tell him that he misunderstood, but Yuki's voice is loud and he tries to break free from her, and Cross shouts on the phone, so Yurio gets very angry, and hangs up on Cross, so she sees the dead end sign in her diary, so she crosses the ladder with Yuki, and tells them we will not be able to escape from this hospital now, come with me, and she takes them to one of the rooms in the hospital, and tells them I promised you that I would tell you why Cross betrayed you. They enter the room, which contains the sick son of Investigator Cross, and his wife who is sitting with their son, so Yurio tells them the truth, that about a month ago news came to Cross that his son only has 3 months left to live, and since then he has been trying to become the ruler to save his son, so Yuno asks her how do you know this? So she replies he forced me to join him, and that is because he helped me before during the Sacred Eye incident. We are supposed now to unite and kill the fourth, and his son and wife will be hostages with us. Yurio takes the food that Cross's wife brought and eats it and offers it to Yuno and Yuki, and continues her words now you are supposed to act like adults and prepare for the attack of the fourth, so Yuki feels terrified, and Yurio goes to the window and tells them that the police have arrived and they must unite now in order to stay alive. On the other side, Nagashima goes to Cross and tells him that everything is ready and the Special Forces team has arrived, so Cross replies, tell them to prepare to open fire, so Nagashima warns him that the hospital has many patients, and also his wife and son are there, but Cross does not listen and insists on his opinion. At the same time, the ninth tells Yuki while she is tying Cross's family, do not worry, we will not kill them. We will only use them as winning cards for us, and this way we will be ahead of the fourth, and we will also be able to remove the dead end that the three of us have. Does anyone have questions? So Yuno replies, I am fine as long as Yuki will be fine, so Yuki says to himself, I thought Yuno would kill me at the beginning, but she has been protecting me all this time, so Yurio continues her talk. Yuki will go out to monitor the hospital during the negotiations with Cross, and Yuno will stay with the hostages, and she gives Yuki a bomb so that he will be armed in front of the police. After that Yuki leaves the room, and Yurio calls Cross, and tells him I have one request so I can leave your family alone, that you kill yourself, and I also want a vehicle ready for escape, but the surprise is that Cross quickly refuses her request, so Yurio is shocked, and he tells her we have surrounded the entire hospital, you have no chance to escape, surrender is your only option, so Yurio replies, what are you saying? Your son is our captive, so he replies if I surrender now I will not be able to save my son, my only solution is to become the ruler, and Cross ends the call. So Yurio gets very angry, and after that orders the soldiers to start the operation. So Yuno calls Yuki on the phone, and warns him that the soldiers are coming toward him, and suddenly he sees the soldiers surrounding him from all directions, and they manage to restrain him, so Yuki asks himself did the negotiations with Cross fail, and after that one of the soldiers calls Cross, and tells him that they captured Yuki, so Yuki gets nervous, and Cross prepares himself and readies his weapon, so Yuki says to himself I must escape quickly, but he notices Cross coming toward him. So Cross runs toward him holding the pistol, but Yuki sees Yuno holding a gun and running to save him, and she fires at the soldiers and kills them, but Cross quickly quickly takes Yuki as a hostage and points the gun at his head, but Yuno also threatens him with the bomb that was with Yuki and tells him leave Yuki alone or I will blow the place up. So Cross lets him go, so Yuno tells Yuki, thank you for everything you did for me, you gave me great hope in the future. And she remembers her moments with him, I will die for you Yuki, and suddenly Yuno activates the bomb and lunges at Cross and tells him you will die here with me. At the same time, Yurio sets a bomb to explode in 5 minutes and decides that she will leave Yuno and Yuki and escape alone and jumps from the building and finds investigator Nagashima standing in front of her, so both of them are surprised so Yurio tries to raise her weapon at him, but Nagashima kicks her hand quickly and tackles her, and suddenly a bomb explodes in the hospital, so Nagashima is surprised and asks what is that, so she replies surely Yuki used the bomb. But the bomb that Yuki used is only a flash bomb, I gave it to him to distract attention, and suddenly the bomb that Yurio set explodes, so she tells him this time I am the one who detonated it, I hope the hostages are alive, and after that she takes him and runs, and continues her words after I saw you I knew a way to get rid of the dead end. And we return to Yuki again, and the place is destroyed because of the bomb that Yurio detonated, so Yuki opens his eyes and gets up quickly to reach Yuno. But suddenly Cross appears in front of him and grabs him and punches him several times and tells him I turned out to be lucky, I will be able to kill you before the investigators arrive, and after that he throws him away, so Yuki notices a gun and goes to take it, and as soon as he turns to shoot Cross, he finds him holding Yuno and placing a knife on her neck, so Yuki gets very nervous and remembers when he fired at the investigator at the police headquarters. So Cross tells him throw your weapon before I kill her, so Yuno opens her eyes, and Cross continues his talk do not move from your place. You will die if I aim at you wrong! And now Yuki, what will you do? So Yuki becomes tense, because if he misses the shot he will kill Yuno, and he opens his phone to see if he shoots who will be killed, and finds that the bullet will hit Yuno! So Yuki becomes more and more confused and says even if I drop the gun he will kill us, what am I supposed to do now? So Yuno tells him shoot Yuki. I do not mind if you kill me because I will die for you. I know that you lied to me when you confessed your love, but I was happy. So Yuki raises his weapon at Cross and tells her we will live together. Even if you surrender I will not surrender, and suddenly the future changes for them and Yuki fires at him and manages to hit Cross indeed, so Cross is in pain and says I will not die here. I must become the ruler and raises the knife and is about to strike Yuno. But suddenly Nagashima stops him and tells him I found out that you are the one who killed the serial killer through Yurio. So he replies do you believe a terrorist woman? So Yurio shows him an audio recording of him in which he tells her the truth. So Nagashima tells him you will be arrested now, you are just a criminal. So Cross opens his phone and sees the dead end sign, so he realizes that he is about to die and drops the knife from his hand and asks them about his wife and son. So Nagashima replies we managed to save them before the explosion. So Cross breaks his phone and asks the ninth for his last request, which is that she takes care of his son, so Yurio agrees, and after that Cross disappears from life. After that Nagashima takes responsibility in Cross's place, and luckily for Yuki the soldier he shot is still alive, and after that Yuki goes to meet Yuno, and she asks him, where are we going now? So he replies I will go to my father and take the telescope, and we will go to a high place to watch the stars together, so Yuno tells him that she is happy, and wishes to live her whole life with him. After that Yuki calls his father, but he does not answer, and at the same time Akashi sends a message to Yuki, but Yuno takes his phone before he sees it, and tells him we are late for the train, and after that Yuki goes to enter the bathroom, so Yuno takes advantage of that and reads Akashi's message, and finds him writing to Yuki that it is better for you to stay away from Yuno, because the police are searching for her now, so Yuno gets angry, and vows that she will kill him. On the other side, D says we have seen strange events recently, but whatever the course of the game is, the fourth was supposed to remain until the last game, what did you do Murumuru? But Murumuru pretends not to understand what he is talking about, so Dees hits her hard with his hand, but she escapes from him, and replies fine you discovered me. The fourth was supposed to discover his son's condition at a late time, and after that he would enter a battle with Yuki's team, so I just sped up the game a little, so Dees asks her why did you do that? So she replies I want the game to be fast and fun, and also we no longer have time, we need a new ruler before you die. At the same time, Yuki and Yuno are sitting together, and Yuno tells him I want to drink something. I will go get something for us to drink together. So Yuki says to himself at least the sky is clear today so we can see the stars, and after a while Yuno comes back with the juice, and gives it to Yuki. On the other side, Akashi is with his friends in one of the restaurants, and Kosaka comes in with the food, so Mao asks Akashi why did he come with us on the trip. So he replies I had an extra invitation so I gave it to him. So Hinata asks him what are you writing in your diary? But Akashi tries to distract them, and tells them it is nothing important. So Kosaka shows them her diary, and tells them I was writing all my moments in it, but they mock her, and Hinata tells them you are acting just like Yuki. So Kosaka replies he is probably dead by now, and suddenly Hinata slams her hand on the table because of Kosaka's words, and tells them I will go get more food, so they are surprised by her. After that they go to sleep, but Akashi thinks about his meeting with Nagashima, and we return to the past during the meeting, and Nagashima tells him the 12 players committed many crimes, and Yuki and Yuno are also involved in these crimes, but they are now in danger and we must find them, so Akashi asks him do you know where they are? So he replies all we know is that they are in the mountain area, we received a report from a witness in that place, so Akashi asks him are there buildings there? So he replies no, so Akashi tells him then they are definitely not there, Yuno would not escape to random places, they certainly used that report to their advantage, so we think they are in the mountains. And we return to the present, and Akashi goes with his friends to meet Najishima. So they ask Akashi, who is this person? So he replies, this is Najishima. He is the one who gave us the trip tickets. And he also works as a police investigator. So they are all shocked. So he tells them, I want help from you. Yuno and Yuki are in this city, and we want you to search for them and find their location. So Kosaka asks him why specifically us, who will search for them. So he replies, because they can predict the future. If we send the police they will know and escape again. So Hinata asks him while worried about him, is Yuki okay? But Najishima tells her, I am not sure about that. Akashi's conclusions reached us that he might be detained in this city. I believe Yuno is behind this matter. So Kosaka asks him, what are we supposed to do now? We expect that they are in one of the abandoned hotels in this city. After the economic collapse, a large number of hotels closed, and this makes Yuno detain Yuki in places like these. After that, they all go to search for Yuki. So Kosaka tells Akashi, by the way, I do not trust you. So Akashi smiles and Hinata replies, we cannot leave Yuki alone after what he did with us. So Kosaka gets angry and Mao asks, where are we supposed to find him? It is hard for us to search all these places. So Hinata replies, we will keep searching until our legs get tired. So Akashi suggests to them that they split up, Hinata with Mao on one route and he with Kosaka on another route, and that way they will speed up the search process. After that, each team goes to search everywhere, and after wandering a lot in the hotels, Kosaka goes to one of the hotel bathrooms, so Akashi says to himself, we cannot search every hotel like this. We must narrow the search area. And suddenly he hears Kosaka shouting and runs to him quickly, and finds that the water is cut off, so Akashi gets an idea that they should search only the hotels that have electricity and water, and after that he calls Hinata and Mao to inform them, but Yuno sets traps for them everywhere. And after a long search in the hotels, Nagashima calls Akashi, and tells him that there is a hotel owned by Yuno's family nearby, so they should go explore it, and at the same time Hinata and Mao are walking in the street, and Hinata receives a message from Yuki, written in it, come quickly save me, Yuno is detaining me in her hotel, so she tells Mao go inform Kosaka and Akashi, and I will go save him quickly. Mao quickly calls Akashi to tell him what happened, so he tells her I am coming to you now, and after that they go to meet her. So Kosaka asks them how will Yuki send a message to Hinata while he is detained. So Akashi thinks for a moment and replies no, Yuki would not be able to do anything because Yuno would know from her diary, so it is impossible that he sent the message, Yuno is the one who sent it. That means Hinata is in danger now, and suddenly Mao receives a message from Hinata, written in it I found Yuki and he is with me now, so Kosaka tells them we are supposed to go to her now. After that they reach the place where Hinata and Yuki are, and as soon as Akashi opens the door, he finds Yuki tied to a chair, so he tells Kosaka I will go in with Mao to check on him, and you hold the door so it does not close on us, and as soon as Akashi goes to him, he finds that he is just a doll, so Kosaka enters with them and leaves the door, so it closes and they get trapped inside. So Kosaka goes and tries to open it, but there is no use, so Akashi realizes that this was a trap, so he asks Kosaka what are we supposed to do now? So he replies the message that Hinata sent, Yuno is the one who sent it, and that means Hinata came to this room and Yuno attacked her, and took her with her to some place. So Kosaka gets angry, and asks him how did Yuki let her do that? So he tells him no, Yuki also cannot move, and suddenly Yuno opens the gas pipes in the room, so they enter a state of panic. And Akashi tells them we must escape as fast as possible. On the other side, Murumuru asks Dees who do you expect will win the game? I chose the second one and you. I know you are no longer with the first, so he replies I expect that Yuki will be the one who wins, so Murumuru is surprised, and Dees continues his words my favorite character has not changed from the beginning. And we return to Akashi and his friends again, and Kosaka is trying to open the door with all his strength, and Kosaka gets angry because Yuno is trying to kill them, so Mao asks what will we do now? So Akashi replies it seems that the room will be filled with gas after half an hour, and he looks at the surveillance camera that Yuno is watching them through, and says Yuno has become crazier than ever, so Kosaka opens his phone, and tells them I will write my final will before I die. So Akashi replies do not rush toward death, I have a plan that we can get out of here with. At the same time, Yuno goes with the food to Yuki, but Yuki is almost hypnotized, and she takes the spoon and puts it in his mouth, so Hinata, who is tied on the ground beside her, asks her what are you doing? You must stop what you are doing right now, you are disturbing Yuki like this. So Yuno replies it is none of your business, the two of us are happy, as long as we are in this place, no diary holders can attack us, not even the police will know our location, and suddenly she hears Akashi's voice calling her, so Yuno goes to him to see what he wants. So he asks her why do you have two skulls with you now? Do you think I would just stand and do nothing when I found you disappeared? I went to the big pit in your house and found out that you buried corpses there, but the strange thing is that when I went there I found that two skulls were missing, so I said that you must have taken them with you. So Yuno gets very angry, and Akashi continues his words, I found 3 corpses there, but if 2 of them were your parents' bodies, whose body is the last one? And now let us negotiate, if you do not want the police to know about all of this, let us leave right now, and Akashi takes out his phone and shows her the message that he will send if she does not let them go, and suddenly Yuno laughs and tells Yuki these people say strange things, they look scary so that is why I will kill them. So Akashi says she has now altered her memory and also forgot who we are, and suddenly the gas flow increases faster, so they enter a state of panic. So Kosaka says while acting strangely, that is why I did not want to get involved in this matter. What will we do now? I will write my will now, and Kosaka opens his phone, and is surprised when the words in his diary start changing, and is even more surprised when he reads welcome Kosaka, beginner user of the future diary, and he tells Akashi and Mao I became a diary holder like Yuki. and he also reads in it the way out of the room, so they become very happy and prepare to leave. And after that, Kosaka climbs onto Akashi's shoulder and goes out through a ventilation opening in the wall, and suddenly the future changes for Yuno and Yuki! So Yuno is surprised and goes to see what is happening, and she is shocked to find Kosaka behind her. So Yuno asks him angrily, "Who are you?" So he replies, "It is impossible that you forgot this fast!" And suddenly Yuki moves, and looks around, and tries to speak but he cannot, and remembers what happened to him in the past, when Yuno gave him juice and after that he fainted. After that Kosaka says, "Surrender Yuno. I became a future diary holder." So she asks him, "So you came here to kill us?" So he replies, "Of course not. I came here to save everyone as the diary told me. According to it, I will not lose against you." So Yuno tells him, "Fine, I will give you these 2 keys. The first key will free Yuki, and the second key is for the control panel, which will open the door where your friends are. I will throw you the control panel key now, and the second key will be next to Yuki here. Once you open for your friends, go free Yuki. This will give me time to take my father's and mother's skulls again." So Kosaka reads in his diary, and then agrees immediately. But Yuki feels that something is wrong, because he knows that Yuno would never surrender this fast, so he looks at her bag, and realizes that this is a trap, and that she is only buying time to go get her weapon. And Yuki tries to warn Kosaka but he cannot speak, and also Yuki cannot reach the key next to him because he is tied. And as soon as Yuno throws the key to Kosaka, he takes it quickly and goes to open for his friends, and after that he informs Akashi that he opened the door, so Akashi and Mao rejoice. And as soon as Kosaka turns his face to go get the key that will free Yuki, he finds Yuno standing in front of him with a crossbow in her hands, and she shoots him with an arrow in his leg. So Kosaka feels great pain, and Yuki looks around to see what he will do. So Yuno goes to Kosaka and tells him, "You are not trained yet to fight a future diary holder, and also your diary is not strong at all. It only predicts your successes, not your failures. And now go free Yuki as your diary told you, and after that I will kill you." So Kosaka gets scared, and suddenly the future changes for Yuno, so she is surprised and opens her phone to see what is happening, and she looks behind her quickly and does not find Yuki! And suddenly Yuki appears behind her and takes the weapon from her and then hits her in the face, so Yuno is shocked and asks him, "Why did you do that?" So he replies, "Your diary also has limited prediction ability like his. You cannot know Hinata's actions. She brought the key close to me." And suddenly the future changes for Yuki, and he opens his phone quickly to see what is happening and reads that 3 diary holders are coming toward him, so Yuno is shocked. After a while, Yuki and Hinata come out carrying the injured Kosaka, and as soon as they get out they meet Mao and Akashi, so Yuno goes to Yuki and tells him, "Wait, you will not leave me here alone, right? I cannot live without you. We can go watch the stars as you promised me." So Yuki replies, "I do not want to see your face again." So Yuno falls to the ground from sadness. After that they get into the car with Nagashima, and Yuki apologizes to Kosaka for what Yuno did to him, so Akashi replies it is not your fault, but anyway Yuno will not surrender this easily, and suddenly a car passes by them with 3 people looking at them, who are the 3 future diary holders, so they are surprised by how these people look. On the other side, Yuno comes out of the room, and says there are still enemies close to us. Yuki